Alrighty, we've hit the go live button. And we're gonna click the other button that says, hey, I'm live in the Discord. Hey, if you're not on the Discord, if you're here this early somehow and not on the Discord, join the Discord. Hi! I'm here because I'm psychic. Yeah, definitely. Not because I tell you that I'm gonna go live 10 minutes before I do. No, I felt the vibes. True, true. You are psychic. You are a psionic individual. Kind of like this track. How's the audio, by the way? Is it a little loud? Of course I am. I'm a Pisces. Of course I fixed my menstrual cycle. Might be loud, I'm not sure. I gotta hear someone talk. You know what? Let's just preemptively turn the game down a slight bit. We'll go with like 69%. Is that good enough? Dialogue text size. Oh, I appreciate that this is... Of course I'm not a feminist. I fixed my menstrual cycle with raw liver after 8 years of veganism. That one cracks me up, because every time it's just like, girl, your menstrual cycle was probably fucked because you were not getting enough nutrition. Which is tied to being vegan, but also, come on, you gotta be aware of why that is. If you're not getting enough iron or like protein in the first place, you're not doing your nutrition properly. You can't blame veganism. It's like saying, I lost my leg because I stuck my hand in the grinder. I feel like it's far more likely that person is just a grifter, shockingly. Oh yeah, like, come on, you don't post a title like that without it being a grift. Like, come on. I love that the dialogue text size here is just like, hey, even tongue-in-cheek just on this screen. I'm gonna keep the dialogue large because it's very important and I want to make mobile viewing possible. Grift D's. I mean, how does that work? Elaborate for me what that means. Do you want me to steal your balls? Because, like, I don't think I'm qualified. Sure, yeah. What's not to understand? Okay, well, he said he wants me to steal his balls, so... Is it really stealing if he wants it? If he wants them gone? Me trying to come up with an excuse for why I get my dog neutered. Really, I was just getting started on rambling and trying to do my own train of thought here, so thanks, guys. Gotta get started. Also, I'm trying to appreciate the music, and yeah. How's the audio, by the way? My Dark Souls title is definitely Dogfall Grifter. This is nothing compared to Tiger King. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's like you can't expect anything to fill the shoes of Disco Elysium. The song from Disco Elysium, not Joe Exotic. Look, it's got something going on for it. I appreciate what it's doing. Bring myself up. Okay. Hang on, where's my... Yeah, I'm about halfway. We'll go right here. Right about there. Okay. Anyways, We have a lot of points to put things on too. What different backgrounds do we have? Yuck, no testosterone fueled zealotry, please. Look, they kept the colors the same as Disco Elysium too. Wait, hang on. I gotta actually, we gotta go back into this so I can get a good YouTube intro. Wake up, honey! New Disco Elysium like just dropped. This time, Esoteric Ebb, where you play as a D&D inspired Disco Elysium like, aka hardcore text adventure. I'm gonna kill you. You know, maybe it's a little deserved. Ebb D's. Ebb on D's. Your voice isn't nearly annoying enough for YouTube. Wake up, guys! Come on, check out this new game by... Oh man, I gotta move my camera for this first bit. That's fine, we'll fix it. Go off, Steve-O. Wake up, guys. That's a terrible Steve-O. Anyways. Uses. Higher strength allows you to equip extra items. Be violent or manly, useful in encounters. Religious fervor. Aesthetic nationalism. Increased manhood. What? Is this a This is a crazy looking goblin sketch. Mechanical benefits of strength. We'll just take a quick look at these. Dexterity. With enough dexterity, you can steal anything. Pick locks, sneak and dodge traps, and roll initiative and react quickly as a dashing rogue. Become rich as a Republican revolutionary. Don't run away, dummy. Just run away, dummy. Okay. Constitution. Needed for HP. Control your body and its esoteric connection. Your political party polled 2% last week and you don't care. Pain is good for you. Interesting. Higher intelligence lets you prepare more spells. Think, plan, execute an actual plan. Complete the Meritocratic return. Vote for yourself. Be a genius without peers. Okay. Pain is good for you. Pain is good for you. Higher wisdom lets you empower your spells, be kind and see the good in all folk. Egalitarian hope of the Asgalian working class. Hey guys, I think I know which stat I'm gonna end up boosting here. There are no big bad evil guys. And then charisma. With high charisma, you get an automatic discount in select stores near you. Win every conversation, say the right thing. Say whatever gets people to like you and become an apolitical force of nature. Be arguably sociopathic. Holy... Okay. I get it. I appreciate this. The role, too. The purpose of conversation is definitely to win them. That's what charisma people think. Okay. High strength cleric. Votes for the party of Norvik. Prays to his dead god. Uses brute force on puzzles. Punches big bad evil guys in the face. Wants to become a real human hero. Loves quests. Simple as. Low strength cleric is a weak sniveling rat. Bows down to anyone stronger. Can't handle the banter. Gives up when the going gets tough. Is afraid of women. Doesn't care about quests. Okay. High dex is afraid of women. Yeah. Low strength, you're afraid of women. I hate to say it. I fear fish. I fear women. I'm alone on this godforsaken earth. Okay, let's go with, not afraid of women, and I can pick up women. Pick them up. Women love that. Yeah, that's true. We're gonna go higher. Let's go Scholar Cleric. I'm actually gonna lower intelligence just a bit, and we're gonna raise wisdom. I don't care about really anything else. Oh, okay. No con. That's good. That's good. We're gonna be in a great spot. Talk shit, get hit, die. Exactly. We're a working class hero. It is your belief in the heart of all folk to give and share what you have, to be completely and utterly selfless. It is the only true road to redemption. Gods only know how hard you try. We're gonna be an absolutely pathetic individual. That's what I've decided. Yeah, this seems fine. This'll be fine. How do I continue onwards? I've clicked the wrong button. Oops. Loving the wing eyeball blob. Yeah, that's God. God is this thing. Intelligence. I'm a scribe. Constitution is my stomach. Yes, yes. Oh, I need to... No. Pop both of these. How do I continue? Lore enthusiast. Spending time alone in the library, you often ended up in the city. You often ended up in the Darwinian library. I gotta practice my talking. Oh, I'm missing a point too. We'll boost dexterity a little bit. I can't dump all of my physical stats, right? You gotta read more, chef. I do. I need to read aloud more. That's what I'm learning. All right, let's continue. Let's go forward. 5 days until the first ever election. An explosion erupts at the heart of the city. No one wants to deal with it, so they send you. Oh, good. The frailest cleric on record, one with incredibly deep esoteric insight. Complete your quests in any order. Don't be afraid to make interesting choices, and remember to love everyone, no matter what. Love everyone! This campaign will take you from level 1 to 6. We'll play for about 5 to 8 sessions. I hope it's been a journey to put this together. I hope you have a good time, Chris. And make sure to save often. You literally have no health. Yippee! Thank you for reminding me, because I'm going to explode a lot. You will love each other. My brain says you will love each other. That's me. I'm a blob. I'm a little blue blob. That's my soul right there. You will love each other.com. Jor. Truth and nothing else, the voice declares. What is your name? Intelligence. Ron. Your name is Ron. Your statement of citizenry, Ron Hemlin. Ron Hemlin. Factually correct. You answer. Another question from the darkness. What is your occupation? As if it matters. Look around. Your senses reach out into the void, a glimmer dangling far, far away. A string of existence. What's an occupation in this context? Wisdom is knowing your occupation doesn't matter. Exactly. Work. Getting paid for labor. Hang on. I need to come up with voices for each of my stats. Specifically, wisdom and intelligence. This is for sure about your job. You know, the job. Your class? Tell the voice about your class. Class? What class am I? Upper class? You are a great spellcaster who will rule the world one day. Is that true? The first thing I see being in fear fish. I fear women. It's true, we do be fearing fish and women here. You are a city cleric, nothing more. You're a high-class scoundrel, the best of the best. And awful at everything. I'm definitely a cleric. Your true calling. It takes a while before the next question is posed. We have low strength, we fear women. We do fear women because of that. What is your current goal? We need to find out who blew up the tea shop. And most importantly, for what nefarious purpose? The Goblin Chieftain, she needs you. My boss just asked if I can go into work. No, it's too late. It's 6. A tea shop exploded? Unfortunately, yes. That's not good. I like tea shops. They are lovely, yes. You may ruminate further on tea shops at a later date. There's a question to be answered. Your goal is... minus electrochemistry. Yeah, we are not electrochemically inclined. Why all these questions? No clue. No clue, but you should keep them talking. Been silent here for far too long. To find the Goblin Chieftain? Is that right? You know it to be true. No reply, no feedback. Then the voice asks, what is your political affiliation? Question strikes your entire consciousness, sending it spinning. If you care for your fellow, vote for the Asgalists. I'm doing 5 hours of overtime tonight. Yippee. Oh, that is rough. Burn the corpse to the ground. Based. I can't say it, but you know what? Actually, I can. Burn the corpse to the ground. It is the duty of the powerful to lead. That is you, no one else. Don't be so self-absorbed. You are a social creature, defined by what you give. We are moved beyond the bounds of dictators. We are free to make our own choices, thanks to the revolutionary free striders. Elections are exhausting. True. It hides in the back of your skull a fact that you are bound to be a nationalist. I don't think that's true. And it frightens you, the pressure. Actually, I'm apolitical. We're gonna say the Asgalists. Life is a struggle to alleviate oppression. The exiles know this well. I don't know any of these words. Yeah, all of them at the very beginning it says, hey, you're like an anarchist, you're a working class person, you're a nationalist, you're apolitical, or I only believe in myself. I prefer to keep politics out of my life. Too bad, bitch! Politics is everything, baby! Life is a struggle to alleviate oppression. The exiles know this well. You have supported them in the past. Time to do so again. The voice is fading. This is the end. The final question. How did you die? The same way you lived, unable to step out of the uniform, not for 1 second. Now's your chance. Break free. Are you sure? I'm not sure I can figure out things analogous to the real world without the words I know already. I died when he died. Not dead. Yes! Yes, I'm alive! Bring me back, baby! Give me the opportunity. You know, because it is a Disco Elysium-like, it is impossible to not compare it. I am enjoying the music. It's certainly different. I meant duck ass because the words were wiggling. True, true. We bounce and wiggle on it verbally. Don't know if I want to watch too much because I want to play. Look, I completely understand saying, actually, I do want to play this. I'm going to play this. There is no hard feeling here. It is, it's the kind of game that you get a lot more playing, I think. Music slaps. I love me some synthy guitar. Oh yeah, I'm appreciating what's going on with that. That's me. Who did the OST? That's a question that I do not have an answer to. Can I click the apple? Day 1. Ellipses. 4 out of 6 HP. A fresh start. Your heartbeat is loud, screaming. Your body aches. It's stiff, as if you slept for days. Don't sleep in the armor, dumbass. Ready for the quest to continue. Look around you. A circular stone chamber, storage for apples and corpses. Oh, good. Those piles of apples. Is this Tolstad? Found their band camp? Ooh. Journal updated. I like that I can click on this and it's a DC check. Tolstad, a sprawling island fortress and one of 5 districts in the city. Sits in the middle of River Torna, home of Jor's Pillar, a sprawling tunnel network, and Water Lane, the greatest hub in Ascani. You are on Tolstad right now. Onderbach did the OST. Seem rad. Yeah, I'm excited to hear more of it. Water Lane. Water Lane, the biggest trade port in Norvik. Located in a massive tunnel piercing the center of Tolstad. It is a so-called marvel of dwarven engineering, and it's the reason so many people commute to Tolstad over the many bridges. Considered one of the greatest crafted wonders of the world. Alright, just keep clicking. Norvik, the central city of Ascani, the last bastion of humanity. It was founded upon the end of the Reconquest in 468 AE, exactly 70 years ago. Ascon, one of the 8 bands along the coast. It is a cold, mountainous realm. It is your home, also referred to as Ascani interchangeably. The coast. The coast. Known as Jor's Realm, it is a strip of land divided into 8 bands. The further inland you go, the further you get to the infinite wastes. It is theorized to be a ring or a half-sphere due to the bend of the horizon. They got the sleep party people on this? Damn, they got a lot of people on the music. Band. An esoteric divide splits the circular coast of Jor into 8 geographic areas, commonly known as bands. Each band has unique esoteric and natural traits and stretches from the coast to the infinite wastes. Alright, esoteric. Esoteric. The magic of Jor and his strings. The coast is infused with it. Who the hell is Jor? Jor, the name of our realm. It is the name of the legendary wizard who created it. He died during the closing, at the end of the Gate era. What's a wizard? A book-learned arcane spellcaster. Typically plays Jor's strings by memorizing and executing esoteric rituals and chants. Alright, what do I have on me? What stuff? Your hands dart around your pouch and uniform. A wizard is a type of creature. True. Panic. Sweat. No spellbook, no mace. Face it, you've been robbed. Your legs shake. Tears begin to form. Deep breaths. Your belongings are surely here somewhere. What is this about, a quest? Oh yes, a quest. Earth be blessed. Earth, your god. Do I remember everything? Yes, everything is off, but your memory is intact. Your quest was given yesterday, remember, the tea shop. The tea shop? Yep, the tea shop that blew up. Easy job, you'll be done in a day or two. Just a job. Ah, so I've done this before? 5 XP. Well, maybe not this particular type of job. Your previous experience lies more in the basic Earthguard militia service, as well as a few years at the towers. Okay, what are the towers? The towers. The home base of the Orders of Arcane Clerics of Norvik, also known as the OACN. This, we sure are riding on that Disco Elysium. What's a cleric? A servant of a god, deeply devoted and spiritually connected. Typically a divine spellcaster given power through their deity. Divine, one of the 3 pillars of magic. It is represented by the sacred, the faith of all folk, their souls, and is granted by gods who once walked among us. Amogus? Rogue sorcery was not your main subject, but yes, you've read a lot about these subjects of fiery events. They are not too common these days, however this incident does not appear overly complex. A quest? I like those. Good attitude. There's always more around the corner, so look out. Don't want to miss any. Wait, how much time do I have? Until the election. Duh. Which is in 5 days. Time only advances when you make new choices in dialogue. Oh, good. So to be clear, I need to figure out who blew up some random tea shop. More or less. But you've got like 5 days to do it, so no stress. There's that feeling again. The feeling you're about to enter a path from which there is no way back. No way back? That doesn't sound too good. Good or bad, you won't know until you've reached the end. That's ominous. Fate will guide me to a... You feel dizzy. The weight of the Earthguard uniform. A dull pain takes hold. Your body aches, its contents rotting. You must consume an apple now. Your mind forms a trail from one cross to another. You know not why you stand among these apples, but you know everything else that has gone wrong in your life. You must dig yourself out of this trench with kindness and an ever-brightening love for folk. If your stats are high or low enough, chimes will appear in your mind. They will suggest, inform, and offer unique paths. Trust them at your own risk. I'm so very confused. Your mind is ungodly powerful. Get yourself together. One step at a time. Alright, obviously we gotta save right away. What is this? Behold, trifle. An apple. Looks better than the ones in the pile. Sure, I'll trifle that. Garden apple. An apple grown on Tolstad. The colors ripple across the surface. Consuming it will save your soul. Yeah, you know what? I will eat that apple. Deep storage? Hang on, let's also move the webcam back. This side. We've had to go back and forth a little bit. I have faith in this, right? This isn't yours, is it? What is it? Trifle this for me. A tattered cloak. +1 dex. -1 charisma. I don't need charisma. I'm Rizless. The cloak is sprawled upon the iron slab. As you grab it, you immediately feel the dampness spreading into your gloves. Oh. It's light blue and tattered. It was once yours. Please don't. This thing is disgusting. Weigh it in your hands. It is heavy. Bring out the water. The filthy liquid falls to the floor of the stony chamber. It smells of salt water. Still quite wet. Well, should I wear this? No? Of course you should wear it. A hood is a decent tool. It's a perfect tool for any decent rogue or ne'er-do-well. Yes, Daft? Highguard is shutting down on the 12th. Hey, what day did that game release? What? Didn't that come out, like, last month? Maybe making a game based last month. Woof. So what if it's a little damp? You have to wear it. But I'm not a rogue? Sorry, the word I am not a rogue is not in your vocabulary, actually. Please rephrase. It's not one word, though. So pedantic. So unrefined. Shut up. You reach for your fancy red pouch of holding. The cloak easily slips inside into the extra-dimensional space with a satisfying slurp. I really love my pouch of holding. Yes, you are very lucky. This kind of magic item can go upwards of 10,000 crowns. Crowns? Crowns is the Norvikian crown, the main coinage in Norvik. Oh, good. Boy, what a shock. Yeah, I'm not really surprised. Overwatch, Highwatch, Overguard, didn't really seem like a particularly interesting iteration upon really anything. Highguard, you know, it won't matter, and it won't matter when the bombs drop. played it and it was okay. It didn't really... Okay is kind of a death knell in an industry that requires millions of dollars for a multiplayer shooter like that to survive. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Norvikian crown, the official currency of Norvik, suffered heavy inflation during the years after Earth. I'm gonna go with Earth. Earth's passing. A meal is somewhere between 5 and 20 crowns. A cheap month's rent is 100 crowns. A spell book is 50 crowns. An average salary outside of the city is up to 300. Average salary inside the city is up to 500. What is Earth's passing? Earth's passing, the day your god died. Norvik used to celebrate this with fervor when you were little, as many fanatics believed he would return if they hosted a truly legendary feast. Earth's passing. Drink and feasting with family and friends, mostly used to ignore the darkness of winter outside. Ah, I see. It is not yours, though. It's the city's. You can't just use it for anything. But hey, marathon is good. I mean, I was fully expecting that not to be regarded very well. But I'll take it. Shut up, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Now go put on the cloak and rob some people. Reallocate some resources. Equipping items temporarily alters your ability scores. Okay. Sure, you know what? Where does this go? Damn, that thing looks nasty. The ends are torn. It's a stretch to even call it a cloak. Please don't put it on. Well, you know, we take dex. Although maybe we don't need it because the odds ruin it for us, so. Behold, a vase of leaves. Smells lovely. What's in it? Show me the leaves, please. Min-maxing already? Look, you're talking to a loot gremlin. Of course I'm gonna min-max. Why would I wear the cloak if it ruins a stat and doesn't benefit another? Some incense? What'd that do? Incense. Easily burn spices and herbs. Can be used to recover first level spell slots. Uh-huh. I'm just saying, I am justified in it. Of course I'm gonna min-max. Me, I'm made to min-max. Behold, it's a corpse under a blanket. What's it got in it? An apple and crowns? That's mine. Engage with it. You stare at a blue rag. It's draped over the outline of a someone. I hope this game has a froggy hat too. Please, please, I'm begging you. Please give me a froggy hat. Please. Sir, you can't sleep down here. No response. He's too still to be alive. Sir, please don't ignore me. Stop this idiotic behavior. You wish to commune with the corpse in any meaningful way? I suggest Speak with Dead. Speak with Dead, a 3rd level necromantic spell. It allows you to animate a spirit into a corpse and have it answer 5 questions, as long as that corpse retains a suitable vessel. That mainly boils down to still having some sort of mouth, including a functioning jaw. No breathing, no movements, nothing. Oh. Oh. Oh, he's dead. No shit. A true statement. I need a frog hat IRL. I would if I had a frog hat, I'm wearing that shit every day. Actually, check under the rag. Underneath you find the cold corpse of a human. Human, tall and beautiful like yourself, known as the pest of the coast, by those who are less inclined to reproduce like rabbits. Thinning blonde hair, unkempt unkempt facial hair, mid-40s, factory worker, Eskani blood. His complexion shows nearly no decay, most likely under the effect of a preserving spell. DC difficulty class of a dice choice is determined by how challenging that roll will be for you. If you select a die choice, you then roll a 20-sided die. If you get the same or higher as the DC, you succeed. I'm good with corpses, right? What do you mean? Like, I've been trained to handle them, right? You do not have the training to handle them, no. But of course, you do have the skills to draw basic conclusions, so go ahead. Oh, right. I mostly dealt with paperwork. Do you think this game also has a thought cabinet item that makes you fail all checks that people don't read? If it's a true Disco Elysium, like, yes. Yes, it does. Oh, right. I mostly dealt with paperwork. Paper and ink, baby. Examine him closer. Can I save right now? No. Well, let's see if we fail. We take a success. There's something strange here. This is no regular gentle repose. Gentle repose. A second level necromancy spell. Keeps a corpse from decaying. Look close, but do not move the corpse. Lean in and look closer. Harsh scars cover the skin. Found out you can't save in dialogue in the worst way? Ooh. Yeah. I think we're gonna be sure to save before talking to most things now. We're learning that lesson early. Cause of death appears to not be directly visible. No blunt trauma either. Story slop? What's up, Bo? We are doing story slop. We love story slop. Is this good slop? You only like it because it's good? Well, it's a Disco Elysium-like, and that immediately has me like, I have positive thoughts of Disco Elysium. Maybe it is good. We'll see. Just the way Mama made it. True. Mama makes some great story slop. Considering his age and the shape of his body, this man most likely died of a common disease or internal failure. That's pretty broad and vague. Unless you're willing to start cutting, that's all you got. Except, there's also a marking on the right leg, a circle with a cross inside it. 300 pieces added. You recall, that is the marking of a PR, potential revivification. Oh right, this guy can be revived? Seems so. He most likely died during care and was granted immediate gentle repose. However, he clearly did not have an RF, a revive fund, nor did he have family members with enough ready cash. Revive fund, a type of life insurance. Monthly payments are made into an account that can be used to pay for a resurrection of the fallen beholder, given they're under the age of 75, human scale. Oh, I see, this world is fucked up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We are already on that. Politics? A Disco Elysium, like, based off of Disco Elysium that has politics? In my video games? What? If health insurance was even more evil? Yeah. Extremely. Or perhaps he was just an unlikable fellow. Who knows? You cover up the corpse once more. So I could cast Revivify on this guy? Potentially, yes. Although the question is more akin to, why should you? A third level spell is a valuable resource. Why waste it on some blue-collar corpse? That's terrible. If you can, always save a life. Or bring it back. That is always the right choice. Of course it isn't. Ignoring the fact that you cannot simply spend your power on any old fool. There are always also a million outcomes to a resurrection that could lead to a negative outcome in the world. A resurrection, the act of returning a dead person back to life. There are many spells to do this, from a weak Revivify to the legendary True Resurrection. Revivify, a third-level necromancy spell. If used within 60 seconds of death and the body isn't too ruined, the target is brought back to life. Despite your good intentions. Good intentions build a better world. Perhaps in your foolish alignment system, but not in reality. Alignment, an esoteric effect which brands each creature on the coast with one of 9 labels, on 2 axes, lawful to chaotic, good to evil. It is debated exactly who or what determines the parameters within this effect. Spells like Detect Alignment are capable of parsing this effect. What is Detect Alignment? A first-level divination spell, which allows the caster to see an esoteric effect around the creatures who are not true neutral on the alignment axis. Clerics often use this as a utility, even if alignments are not admissible in Norvikian courts since the Earthfolk Rights Order of 499 AE. And the Earthfolks? Earthfolk, the people of Earth, the ancestors of those who reconquered the Ascani coast, true mythological heroes. It's okay to loot him, right? Yeah, sure, why not? If you can suffer the loss of moral integrity. Moral integrity? It's a dead guy. He's not gonna need his stuff, obviously. Not like the guy will complain, but don't go around talking about it too loud, okay? Grave robbing is frowned upon by some, even in these enlightened times. Either way, you will not get in any trouble. No one will know. Who was this guy? His hands are calloused. He's built like a sarcophagus. This is a dead working man. The type to spend his whole life toiling away for nothing. Why is he here? This is a morgue. A lich house, clearly. Lich house. A mortuary. Holding space for dead bodies. During times of undeath, they are known to be heavily guarded. Corpses are kept on cooling in places like this before cremation or burials. The apples make it hard to believe, but yeah. Must have been one hell of a deal to put those two together. I should stop bothering this corpse now. Alright. Pop a save. Just keep saving. We've interacted with 3 things already, and a great mountain of apples. F5 for quick save? Yo. Huge intel, actually. Questing tree. We have Cleric and an Asgalist. Election week. The first ever election in Norvikian history will take place in just a few days' time. What will you vote for? We've talked about positive opinions on Asgalism about one single time ever since waking up in the Lich House. Really brings you back. The tea shop that blew up. Your purpose on Tolstad is to investigate an exploded tea shop, locate this establishment, and gain entry. Class conflict. You've declared yourself the Cleric of Norvik one single time. It's a grand title, suitable for a true human cleric like yourself. Oops. I guess I'm a cleric. I mean, red makes me think, this might be fascist. Seems like Druid and, I saw Druid on the screenshots, that's why I bring it up. Green is Druid. 300 pieces. You encountered a corpse in the Lich House. It seems fresh and ready for a Revivify, though it would cost quite a bit of money to bring it back. Almost a month's rent. A month's rent just to bring somebody back, huh? Okay, I have my inventory. We have a bunch of stuff. We have apples. And money. What is this shrine? Divine shrine, covered in apples. Let's engage with it. Shrine of Earth. The runes fill your senses as you approach. The color is faded. This monument is hollow, void of all life and divinity. And worse, it's covered in rotten apples. A sacred shrine left in this state? This is an insult to Earth and all its people. Old things are still around, huh? A remnant of blindness and decay. Hard to let go of old national pride. But progress will always lead the way. Are these rare? No, you will find shrines like this all over Norvik. Can I pray here? To what, exactly? To Earth, of course. There are many gods listening to our prayers, always. Just remember that they might not respond so clearly. So I can pray to some random god? You may pray as you wish. There's an internal element to it that is underappreciated. A sacred shrine left in this state? It's an insult to Earth and all of his people. Indeed. Yet you are very much aware that this is not the worst you'll see. You'll have to fight hard to keep Earth's dream aloft. The city is lost, but it is not yet lost. How poetic. You're all so aware the city is very much in need of change. Change from what? An honorable lifestyle? A peaceful city for humans to prosper in? Change from stagnation and a mire of decay. Earth's crusade brought triumph. The corruption brought after his fall is due to exactly that kind of filthy rhetoric. You're certainly allowed to be wrong in your opinion there. I guess I'll remove the apples. It does not take long for you to move away some of the nasty apples away from the front of the shrine. A small improvement, but big in the heart. The shrine towers over you. To cast spells, you must first prepare them at shrines. Prepared spells can be cast when the cleric has a reason to do so. In or out of dialogues, each cast spends one spell slot of corresponding level. What other gods are there? Many. You know a few. Earth, the father of Norvik. You devoted your life to follow in his footsteps. Asgul Ashmask. Asgul Ashmask was the dwarven god of exiles and egalitarianism. Asgul Ashmash, a dwarf of low caste born deep in the Lekamaraz tunnels. When he attained divinity in 1443 AE, he crushed the kingdoms and formed the Asgul Folkhelm Forge. On his death in 470 AE, a great civil war broke out, resulting in the exile of all his followers to the surface. But his influence was felt all around the Undercoast and above, as its exiled dwarves spread Asgulism to all corners of Jor. Undercoast, a nickname for the undersea coast. Undersea coast, the gravity reversed cavern, sea and archipelago, right underneath the coast. Dig down far enough and you'll end up passing through the gravity flip. Then you can make the climb to the undercoast. What is the gravity flip? Gravity flip. The powerful esoteric effect keeping the perfect gravity balance between the coast and the undercoast. Also used as the name for the specific layer in which the gravity flip occurs, which is around 3 to 5 miles beneath sea level on both sides. His followers do not pray to him, for he is not even seen as a god by most. Tokig the Gambler. A trickster, the type of god only famous for his ridiculous ploys. Tokig the Gambler is often seen as a silly goblin myth. He's a trickster goblin who united the tribes of Ascani during the Divine Era, most famous for cutting off his right hand to fulfill a prophecy. In truth, there are a few goblins who still worship him after the conquest. Praying to Tulkig would, if you for some reason would get a response, only result in the exact opposite of whatever you wanted. These are not actually gods, are they? No, not gods technically. It is complicated. These are common divine avatars to the various folk of Norvik. Love a trickster god? Look, every game has to have a trickster god of some kind, right? Like, you gotta have somebody that's like, tee a little trickery. Just a bit of mischief. A bit of fun for me, and a little trickery for you. Long ago, the true outsider gods invaded Jor's realm. When the gates shut, their divine essence awakened walking gods along the coast. Walking god, the term used to describe the divine avatars who rose and fell around the Divine Era. Most major religions on the coast today are built around these figures, and their influence can be felt everywhere. Earth was the last known walking god when he faded 27 years ago. Divine Era? The third out of 5 eras. When the first gods were born out of mortal power, and their power began to entirely fall into their wonderful and fragile hands. The gods you know are but spiritual vessel of the true gods beyond our realm. Yet they are the only gods you know. Albeit faintly, they listen to your prayers and grant divine power to their clerics. In short, gods weren't allowed on Jor's turf, so they sent subsidiaries. Something like that, yes. A ruse played by the powers in the beyond. Ridiculous. Wait, I can't heal it here through divine assurance or something? Not precisely. The gods do not usually grant divine interventions for minor injuries. Do you think they care? You want healing, you have to do it yourself. With the power channeled through Earth? Yes. Come on, is it really channeled? The guy's dead, faded, gone. You're most likely simply handling some esoteric leftovers smudged on the strings. Sure, let's attempt a prayer of healing. I'm sure this will go well. Nat 20! First nat 20 of the game, baby! You focus your mind on Earth's symbol, his red eye, and you remember the words. Chant, watch upon me, Earth, shepherd of his folk. You're filled with a spirit of nostalgia and power. Let me pick up the burden. Lend me your strength. 8 HP? Yo! You feel reinvigorated. This is it. This is the prayer of healing. Gained item, prayer of healing. Yes, indeed. Sadly, you were unable to cast second levels at this time, but it won't be long until you will be. Alright, well, let's prepare some spells. We have Cure Wounds, and that's it. World's worst cleric rolls nat 20 on first healing spell ever. Healed miraculously. Yeah. I have 2 spells. I have Cure Wounds and a spell I can't cast. Strong start. Let's engage with this again. Can I pray again? Staring at the chiseled monument, you focus your mind. You take a deep breath and begin your prayer. And tranquility. Contemplate the tea shop. You let your mind go through the basics of what you know. The tea shop was destroyed in the middle of the day. Minor injuries were reported. Your goal is to enter the tea shop and investigate it properly. That's it. Contemplate the election. The first election. Your vote won't matter. Your vote will be the most important of all. Damn. Ask those around you what they will vote for, and you might find your own voice along the way. Contemplate your class. Identity is not easy. It's everything, from faction to home life to street. What you choose might be a first step. Choose wisely. Can I return here when I have more things to think about? Always. Talking to yourself, huh? You must be a lonely guy. Alright, well. You know, we're off to a great start. We're an hour in and we have gone all of 5 feet. Divine scripture where it does not belong. Let's trifle with it. Shield of faith. Yo! More spells? Well, obviously I gotta put that on. Gotta go with all of them. Pile of apples. Are any of the... You know what? You stare at a pile of apples. These apples are not in pristine... These apples are not in pristine condition. Whose apples are these? Not yours. The only apple farm in Norvik would be the Goblin Garden. These apples are property of HBWT. What's the Goblin Garden? A dwarven-built citadel sitting at the southernmost tip of Tolstad. It is now a goblin sanctuary and a greenhouse. Should these be stored along corpses? No, it's a health hazard. Of course not. It's nasty. Could I eat my way through this pile of apples? You could certainly try. It's not really a question of could. It is a question of, do you have the time? You have a feeling it might be worth your while, but only if you push to the end. You are not capable of carrying such a tremendous burden. It would lead to death. Don't waste your time here. At the very least, don't eat the less fresh ones. Ability checks. Roll a d20 with your modifiers to get a unique outcome. It's a lot of apple. Let's remove the bad apples first. I just got an achievement for removing the bad apples from the bunch. Your hands swipe over the surface of apples, carefully plucking away any with signs of spoilage. It's a lot of apple. Yes. Beware. You know what? You do so. Let's pop a save. Let's be ridiculous. We always attempt everything. Start eating. You look upon this challenge with fear in your stomach. This will be your end. Well, let's dig in. Digging in, the first apple goes down the hatch. Going smoothly so far. Maybe this will be easy. Another one. Number 2 goes well at first. Then you hear something rumbling. Oh no. Eat a third one. A rotten core. No. Something hard. Yes, that was a mistake. There could be something good in the pile. Keep it up. Next one. I'm going to die by eating apples. Your stomach fights hard, baits against your hand as you bite down on the apple. This is impossible. Surely one more should be fine. I will surely be rewarded for this. DC 1. I've... Death saving throws. The most unlucky cleric. Die in the lower layer. The cleric is dead. The string is severed. Well, yep. Let's try that again. Maybe this time I can actually get lucky. I mean, it's DC 7. Yep, that's just my luck, baby. You look upon this challenge with fear in your stomach. This will be your end. You know what? Let's just die again. We're just going to fail all of our death saving throws too. Just because it's funny. I mean, we're gonna keep doing it. It's a DC 7. It's what, a 50-50? Just like everything else in life? Another nat 1. You know what? Maybe this is Earth saying maybe I shouldn't. A weak choice, but understandable. You want more apples, but maybe not the spoiled ones. Even the apple boy couldn't handle all that oozing stuff, eh? Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of something light and hard hitting the ground. A small, sharp rock. Rock, a gigantic bird, a beast born through esoteric means. There are a handful of them found throughout the skies of Ascani. Has nothing to do with rocks. A shiny stone? That's decent loot. Take it! This must have fallen into the pile of apples at some point. It's a highly esoteric object. Pick up the strange rock. Shard of Jor. As you weigh it in your hand, a tingle shoots up your arm. A shard. It is connected with a string. These rare shards of Jor can be consumed to unlock failed ability checks. Normally, checks are only unlocked upon completion of a short or long rest. Well, I don't think I'm gonna try and do that again right now. We can come back to it. We'll just take apples where we can. And we'll just keep making saves. What is this? A letter? A very important piece of paper. Let us trifle. Voting card. -1 intelligence. A scuffed voting card made out to Ragnar Hemlin. It's from a dwarf in office for some reason, and someone has checked all 5 parties on the list. You need to bring this to a polling place on election day if your voice is to be heard. Why did I check all of them? Yeah, that's how voting works, right? You pick up the surprisingly thick piece of paper with a shaking hand. The card has been slightly torn and has clearly been drenched at some point. At the top it says Rostcourt in big bold lettering. Rostcourt means voting card in fancy Ascani Dwarven. 5 days remaining. Right, there's an election. It was nice not to think about it for once. You've prepared all your life for this. It's time for change, baby. Useless. I've never had one of these before. Neat. Very neat. Finally, your voice will be heard. Along with every other idiot in Norvik. How does this thing work? After you pick it up at a district office, you only need to check the box of one of 5 parties. Then you deliver it on an election day to a polling place. Although in your mind you need to write the name of the party you want in the corner along with your signature, since you filled out every box like an idiot. This is your one vote. You should indeed take care of it. Look at the list of parties. Nationalist. Party of Norvik. Party of Norvik. The inheritors of Earth's will. The theocratic organization founded to uphold the old ways. Headed by magistrates and 20-something noble families. Hanging Chad looking ass? Yeah. Oh, damn it. This idiot checked every box. It's a magistrate. Magistrate. 5 rulers of the 5 districts. They are the Coin Lord, Home Lord, Shield Lord, Food Lord, and Law Lord. Each has a unique role in the city's bureaucracy. Sometimes the titles switch between districts, but generally the housing districts hold the Home Lord, and the Palace holds the Law Lord. The Palace, an unofficial nickname for the current rulers of Norvik, named after the Palace District, in which most central authority resides. The Palace District, one of 5 districts in Norvik. Home of aristocrats, bureaucrats, and the remnants of Earth's court. Free Strider, Revolutionary Party. Free Strider, the new way. People in the East have overthrown the old wizards and gods. For years, the revolution has slowly creeped into the city. Now it's to finally join the Free Cities and get rich. The Free Cities are a collection of city-states and reeds, all united under the golden banner of free striderism. Norvik will join them, one way or another. Reeds, one of the 8 bands along the coast. It is a temperate land of lowland and many lakes, commonly seen as the homeland of humans. Large portions are still cursed, holding entire undead cities, eternally burning valleys and floating mountains. Asgalist, Workers' Party. Asgalist, the workers who built this city want to rule it. Only seems just. Their vision is a fair and even society, where those who live underneath rise up to show their worth. After all, why can't we share? Agrarian, Rural Party. Arcanist, Party of Magic. The magicrats who ruled pre-Coast War human civilizations in Old Diminor. Also a very minor political party in Norvik. Diminor, the arcane name for reeds, often referred to as Old Diminor. The name was changed by Free Strider revolutionaries to mark the end of the old magiocracies. The arcane era was 511 years of rapid magical and technological growth, as well as the birth and decay of the great human magiocracies in Diminor, now reeds, ended 27 years ago. And finally, the last box doesn't say anything. This is where you can just input whatever you want, or leave it empty for a null vote. The box next to each party is filled with a smudge checkmark, including the last empty one. Are these all the parties? No. There are about a dozen other large parties in Norvik. Most have been subsumed over the last few years, such as the Civic League of Progressives, the Torch Union, Order of the Scales, Hedonist Party, and the various guild parties. The Agrarians and Arcanists are the only ones who have not joined a larger party or fallen aside. Good to know. Always something to do in this city, aka this area. Lots to learn, lots to read. Well, let's go. Behold, a guy. He looks indecisive. Trifle? I can just pickpocket him. A wisdom tooth. A DC 15 check? I kind of want to try it. What do you got in your pockets, pal? Oops. With your fingers fumbling about in his mouth, your grip over the fancy magical tooth slips, and He bites down. Ouch. You instinctively move your hands away, but he still gets a quick nibble in. You're in his mouth? This reminds me so much of the intro of Planescape Torment. Yeah, it very much does. This is highly invasive behavior. Try to behave. What if I try again, though? It's locked, yeah. If we engage with him. You approach a shambling man by the apple pile. He does not acknowledge your presence. Bites you and then just ignores you? How rude. Greetings, citizen. Glancing under his hood, you catch a blank expression spread upon a dried face. What is your name, sir? He does not even turn to look at you. Why is this man not listening to me? His glassy dark eyes just stare forward into nothing. Probably works the same where you can try again if you level up or whatever. That seems likely. Disco Elysium-like? Using Disco Elysium type mechanics? I'd be surprised. Or if you short rest. Oh, okay, okay. This is a reanimated corpse. Probably a work zombie, although it has been illegal to employ undead since the Bone Purge of 11. Maybe after a short rest, you can try that again. We'll see. What is the Bone Purge? A citywide effort in 11 PE to stop necromancers from outcompeting mortal-staffed factories. Sir, are you a member of the undead? He does not respond. What's he doing? Zombie is attempting to clear a path through the apple pile. He's probably been at it for a long time. I found this voting card over there. Is it yours? The zombie does not even grunt in your direction. He just keeps working, slowly. You grip the voting card firmly in your gloved hand. It is indeed yours. Keep it safe. Oh my god. We need to establish an Asgalist government. It's the only way for us average peasants to not fall back into the oppression of feudalism, or worse, magocracy. A government with heart. Those poor little peasants, to think they've been tricked into thinking themselves worthy of ruling. They'll starve come winter. The social democratic model of the dwarves is ingenious, just balanced enough to work with our human dwarven majority populace. A true working class revolution is clearly needed. Cooperative ownership over the guilds is the first step, just like Earth established with the Norvikian collectivized agriculture. The fleshy ball plank does not reply or counter your words. Am I boring you? The zombie carefully places another apple at the top of the pile. He does not have an opinion of any kind. Should I defeat this zombie? That'd be pretty scary. You should probably speak with the owner first. All right. Me? I'm for the people. That's all you need to know. A cleric that's for the people? In this economy? Well, obviously we gotta interact with everything. Mushrooms, probably edible. An empty pot. Let's engage with it. Looking inside, you find this pot to be empty. Most contain strange herbs or ashes. This one does not. Pot was recently emptied. You can still see the remnants of dust at the bottom. Not corpse dust, is it? there is fear. You must grow sturdier. You hedonistic fool. I'm reading intelligence line in Fane's voice, by the way. Fane has a... I don't remember Fane's voice, actually. But I do remember enjoying the voice acting that he had. Pray the stomach dies and lets the mind work without its poisonous influence. Let's trifle with this mushroom. Swamp extract. Can I just take this? Swamp. He's a smug little fuckhead and also a skeleton. Yeah, that's exactly your brand. Yeah, I've been around for a long time. Behold, Viskin, the local mortician. You know what? Let's appraise this man. Intelligence, behold. I don't know anything about him. Later. Human reads folk. The pale man handles corpses in a basement. A typical self-employed city contractor. Hey, look, just because you know I'm right. I'm also going to try and not save scum a particularly large amount. You mind if I just go through this guy's pockets? Coward. It's for content. I'm trying to ride the line that I'm given. Who knows? Maybe I can see some of the interesting stuff that would otherwise not be available. Failure is fun. I mean, that's what Disco Elysium is about. You ride the failure. The red eye of Earth. Jor left his mark across the bands. Today it is a universal sign of magic. Wait, is that... Can I trifle with my book? Ruined prayer book. -3 intelligence. Man. The book is ruined. Most of the pages, while dry now, have been completely drenched in salt water. It's absolutely and completely ruined. Only a few pages of the soggy bracken-ish papyrus pages are readable. They appear to contain some type of undecipherable symbols. Ascani writing, of the most basic kind. Wait, oh no. Someone has attempted to dry this to the best of their ability. No, no, no! By Earth. Phoenix Folio updated. This is your prayer book. So many hours wasted. You would have to rebind the whole thing. It is ruined. That'd be expensive. Let's go get your hands on a new one instead. My book. Tool of an arcane cleric, an instrument of the state, used to handle rogue spellcasters. The cover indicates it is a spellbook with hymns dedicated to the river, Torna, Earth's passing, and the Reconquest. This one is yours. You've spent many years perfecting it. Most pages are smudged. It feels terrible to even think about the knowledge lost. You need to get it rebound. Yoink? I mean, it is my book. Stone slabs are designed to slide along the iron beams. Most interesting. Thick tome lies upon the iron slab. Let's engage with it. No, yoink a new one. Yeah, you know, we can do a little bit of stealing. Flip the tome open. There are fine and handwritten letters scattered across the pages. You can read these symbols, but they are old draconic Diminorian. Diminorian, the common language of man, spread across the coast during the Arcane Era to become the lingua dominance in trade and politics. Arcane, one of the 3 pillars of magic. It is represented by the forces that make up all esoteric events. Those who play Jor's strings tap into these powers, programming the laws of existence around their whims. Jor's strings, the ley lines of esoteric power that holds the realm together. De verbis draconum, ars occulta. The author's name appears to be Calum Diminori. Diminori, one of the most powerful magicratic families in Old Diminor. Known for their reality-warping artifacts and enchantments. Spawned from the Drake Slayer King, Dug Duelin Dim. Old Diminor? Old Diminor, a term for Diminor, often used to refer to the band before it was renamed Reeds during the end of the Coast War. Capitulation agreements, some say it with sarcasm, some say it with pride, some say it with fear. Old Draconic? Yes, the tongue of the Dragon Masters of Old Diminor. Diminor. This is making me want to world build so bad. We're experiencing a lot of the world building because you have to get it out at the beginning. I would love to see you do some world building, though. I just mentioned earlier today, I would love to see the kind of setting that you create. Anyone who uses the term for anything modern is either an anti-free strider or lives under a rock. Humans served them faithfully for centuries before Arcanus rose up against them. It will be unhinged. That's exactly what you want in your world building. Break the norms, do what you want, do the most interesting thing possible. Can I try to read it? No. You have no idea what this means. Right, I need to get my hands on comprehend languages. You do. It's highly annoying that you seem to have lost your memorization. Find a spell scroll. Maybe you could buy it somewhere. It's fairly common. No, too much reading. Tray of old incense. Some is still usable. Yoink! If it's not nailed down, it's mine. So many books, basic manuals, Arcanist histories, novels. Some of them stand out to you as classics. It could be useful to refresh your mind. Books taunt you bookishly. Read Autobiography Prax by Lord Phileas Prax. A classic. You kept this book on your bedside table for years during your scribing years. Take a look at the first page. In these pages I shall endeavor to recount the journey of a mind born to greatness, a will tempered by the crucible of ambition, and a spirit bound by the relentless pursuit of the arcane. My name is Phileas Prax. It goes on to make grandiose statements on his personal abilities of magic. As always, this man is contradictory. He both praises his own natural gifts and mental abilities while stating himself worthy only through his hard work and merit. It is ridiculous. Know this, I write not for the masses, but for the few who possess the clarity of vision to see beyond the veil of mediocrity. To them I offer my life as a lesson and a legacy, that they might learn from my triumphs and avoid the pitfalls that lie in wait for the unwary. You remember the first chapters dealing with his youth, growing up in the ruthless court of a rival house, the Hagenshags. Hagenshags, one of the most powerful and magicratic families in Old Diminor, known for their potions and necromancy, spawned from the seed of the Shadow Lord, a god and theocratic ruler of the Divine Era. Potion, any magic substance ingested for temporary effects. How he struggles against relentless opposition and bullying, making himself out to be an underdog. Power is not born of blood nor inherited by the fortune of birthright. It is cultivated in the crucible of the mind, refined by the fires of discipline and sharpened by the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Let those who seek to rule first learn to kneel before the altar of wisdom,
for that is where the true strength is forged.
This man works out in a library, my god. Yet he does not address his own privilege. If it is only merit, then he should not have needed any of those fancy private studies or lecturers.
Stop complaining, the story is just getting good. A glorious design. Let those who learn lead through merit of ability and nothing else.
Flip through the pages. In the second half, Prax begins to talk about his early political career, the intricacies of magicratic bureaucracy, how he learned to play the game well enough to earn him for himself to reach a dictatorship as the youngest magicratic ruler ever. The rest is mostly a collection of meditations surrounding magic and power.
The esoteric in its purest form is neither good nor evil. It is a tool, a force to be wielded by those with the intellect to do so. Yet let us not be so naive as to think that power alone grants one the right to rule. The arcanist must also be a statesman, for the whims of the unchecked magic can lead even the wisest astray. Govern with an iron hand, but let that hand be guided by the principles of reason and justice. Thus shall the state prosper, and thus shall the legacy of magocracy endure.
Ironic. I do not see the irony here, only truth. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a good voice for intelligence. I keep sinking out of it.
In the halls of power, the arcane shall be our shield and our sword. Yet remember this, the arcanist's duty is not only to himself, but to the state and its people, for in an endless pursuit of knowledge, one must not forget the price of ignorance. A vigilant mind is the guardian of civilization, and a vigilant state of the fortress of progress. Let no shadow fall upon our vigilance, for in the light of our knowledge lies the path to true dominion.
Shield. A first-level abjuration spell can be cast as a reaction to raise an arcane barrier around the caster, protecting against the fiercest of blows. And the final parts of the biography focus on an ever deeper and more rambling side of ruling, with hints of paranoia. This is way too much reading.
Why would you open a book then?
Shut the book. Shut it, looking upon the title once more. Put that away. Damn! There's so much reading! I mean, I knew that signing up, but... Sheesh! My voice is gonna be fried after this. But hey, at least it's good vocal practice. Read Folktales by the Thrill Sisters. By Trill Sisters, not Thrill Sisters. Opening the Trill Sisters book shows an index of several tales, many of which you heard growing up. You haven't even looked at the actual people in the room yet. Oh, I know! We are an hour and a half into the stream, and I have interacted with a zombie and a handful of inanimate objects. So, this is gonna be a slow playthrough, it looks like. But that's fine. I knew going into this that is exactly what was gonna happen. Opening the Trill Sisters book shows you an index of several tales, many of which you heard growing up. These stories shape reality, for the mind does not distinguish a tale from a real-life lesson. They are but the same. Out of the tales, the one you remembered the most, the one about the gnome and the Titan. Titan, term for the gigantic creatures who first inhabited and shaped Jor's realm. The story always spoke to you, mostly because of the unlikely friendship between the two. Read A Little and the Large. In the olden days, when dragons ruled the skies and titans wandered the earth, there lived a gnome named Abacus, known far and wide as a half-wit. Whether by fate or folly, he often found himself in the oddest of places, and so it was that he stumbled into a deep valley of Azcan.
This valley was home to Ka Yamor, the Mist Titan, a colossal being with fur as thick as the ancient forests and limbs that clutched the very mountains. His upper body was hidden in, or perhaps made of, the swirling mists that filled the valley. But on this day, the valley was not the serene refuge it had once been. The air was thick with ash, the rivers ran black, and the trees stood as charred husks. Esuth, the ancient red dragon, had set the forests aflame, hoping to drive Ka Yamor from his domain and claim the fertile valley for himself. Esuth, the red dragon of Ascan. His rise to power through trickery and betrayal is legendary, as is his fall to Abacus the Halfwit and the Mist Titan. Rumors say his spirit still haunts the everlit Burned Coast to this day. The Burned Coast, a vast piece of coastline just east of Norvik. It's a charred area filled with volcanic activity and kobolds. It's one of many eternally cursed lands on the coast. It's nearly impossible to travel to Reeds via land because of this area. Ka Yamor was furious his great form trembling with rage as he searched for the source of the destruction. His eyes fell upon Abacus, who was wandering aimlessly, his tiny mind more puzzled by the sudden darkness than anything else. To think that the coast was filled with these beasts of Jor at one point. They reigned harshly and wildly, but it is not to see why some preferred their chaotic dominance to this tyranny of dragons. Continue to the verses. Thrick Chum, who dares bring fire where none should come? Ashes taint my sacred mist. Speak, small one, lest ye be missed. Abacus looked up, squinting through the fog, and scratched his head. Fire? No, I've no fire to share, no flame do I bring, nor ash to bear. For in the dark as I see clear as day, 'tis those who can't that need the flame, they say. Thrick Chum, what nonsense from your tongue does come? Who is it that needs this blaze that blackens my mists and dims my days? Well, question thee who needs a flame to light their path and stoke their claim. Perhaps it is Esuth the king whose fires to your valley bring. Thrick Chum, the dragon's days are surely done. Guide me, gnome, to where he lies. Together we shall dim his skies. A wonderful little tale about the little and the large. The story goes on to wax about the friendships sparked between this eldritch titan and this silly little gnome as they sought out Esuth on his throne. The ancient red dragon then falls to the titan's might after Abacus accidentally guides him to the correct location. One of those classic stories every child in Ascan is told growing up. It is important to remember that this is an oral tale passed down over generations. This is simply the shape in which it was written down. Who knows how exactly it functioned in its original state? You shut it, looking upon its title once more. Folk Tales. We're gaining XP, little by little. We're a third of the way there, baby. Read The Collected Chants of Norvik by Patriarch Pili. This is a printed version. Sorry. I need to read before I actually speak. It's a skill I'm trying to learn here. This is a printed edition of Pili's work, but still old, perhaps come from the earliest Norvikian printers. On the first page, a short message is hand-scribbled in the corner. My brief lay in the collected humanity of Norvik. May you remember that, from this collection with honor and grace, Pili D. Is this a handwritten message from the second Patriarch himself? Patriarch, a top clerical rank in Norvik, different from Lord Patriarch, which is the traditional administrative leader of the city. Only about a dozen men currently hold the rank. They manage a section of clerics, each at the towers. Oh yeah, this is definitely the
nationalist book? Lord Patriarch, the commander of city forces and top cleric beneath Earth. The title is appointed by Earth. Currently, Lord Akasam holds the title, having led the city for the past 30 years. He is a withdrawn leader, over 80 years of age, and has put most power in the hands of his magistrate. Just kidding. I love men, I guess. You feel faint. Are you even able to hold such an artifact? Fascinating. To think the pale man held such a treasure on his shelf. Well, let's read the foreword. A dream of unity under Earth. Earth? I'm just gonna say Earth. The book begins with a lengthy essay about the foundation of Norvikian cultural values. It's really like a guide, if anything, on what a Norvikian person is, how their values come from various tribes in the old country, and how together they have formed something greater under Earth. You read this before, but you do get a better sense of what this all means now. It is, in some sense, a plea, a stern suggestion for every human in Norvik to lose any sense of former tribal identity, to embrace a new one, a Norvikian spirit, to give away the old and embrace the new. It is not a completely bad move. To unite a folk is to build a commonality, to lower inequality, although, of course, there were many direct ways the state at the time made sure that the old did not remain in the shadows. Violence and oppression at times. The text directly explains how a new Norvikian culture will help the city grow and fight against iniquity and injustice through unity. Mainly being generous and not hoarding wealth, among other things. A naive thought. Then finally, it does touch upon the connection with dwarves as well, and how Norvikian spirit is not contained within humans only. It is not just blood, it is sweat and tears as well. Those folk who unite with us will not be seen as other. No, they too are Earth's folk. They too are Earth's guard. It's a long-ass foreword. Yeah, it's like 5 pages. Old man likes to ramble. Let's read Lorna's lament then. I went with you to foreign shores, my lord, my guardian. I pray you keep from harm the beasts each shard, a proof of your devotion. Thus I give myself to your folk. I give my life for a home at the river, in that sliver of land, to vanquish the beasts who roam, the evil who lair, the fires that burn, to build a life along the river. Every shepherd knows the song. It bellows up the river. Earth lives in that sliver of land. It is your favorite. You shut it, looking upon the title once more. We'll put it back on the shelf. You do so. It fits nicely back into its slot. This book does not deserve your toxic presence. You are stronger, more capable, than perhaps you could have carried that weight. What? You really want the book. One day it could be yours. This is very confusing. I'm just putting back the book. There's some issues with stealing going on here. Just ignore it. Let us forget this for now. Alright. Book's read. Now, let's pop a save and talk to the first actual person here. What's your name, sir? Viskian, the local mortician. The pale man sits hunched over a stack of forms, busy at work, his pencil slowly filling out line after line. On the top paper, you see an icon of a serpentine drake. A great perch. These are official documents of the city. Great perch. The drake-like sea creature found along the river Torna. Earth was known to tame these creatures, and eventually the Great Perch became the symbol of his great city. That is, the Great Perch of Norvik. Up and about, are we? Wonderful. I am Viskin, a local entrepreneur and proprietor of this lich house. It appears you don't really belong here, but if there is anything I can do, Cleric, just let me know. He smiles at you. Yet his eyes say something else. And his voice is familiar to you? Look around the room. Dimly lit and damp, a musky stench lingering in the air. You see books and flasks and stone altars around the circular chamber. There are several corpses present. These stone tables were once modular altars used in some advanced ritual. Did you save my life? He puts down his pen. Your life is your own. You owe me nothing. However, I'm afraid to say you've been through quite the turmoil, Cleric. Tell me everything. I died, didn't I? Those fishermen who brought you here certainly thought so. Not that I blame them. You weren't exactly in prime condition. Prime condition? You're always in your prime condition. You never are. River you take ye. They'd caught you in their net, believe it or not. Such a strange tale. Wait, how did you end up in the river? How did I end up in the river? I'm afraid I don't have much to tell. Perhaps you fell off one of the bridges to Tolstad? There are several bridges over River Torna connecting Tolstad to the rest of the city. Perhaps there's an esoteric explanation to all of this. Perhaps you would know, Cleric. Who are these fishermen? River Guilders, I believe. They did not look like poachers, so my guess would not be that. Where can I find these fishermen? He ponders your question. I did not ask for names, sorry to say. But perhaps Waterlane? That's just a guess. Either that or the local tavern. I hope you find them. So I am, in fact, alive? The pale man stops for a moment. He looks you up and down. Yes. I believe you are. I have some other questions, I think. Do you now? DC 31 wisdom check. I don't think I'm passing that check. I require assistance with some things. Of course, Cleric. Anything for the city? I don't know where to go. I don't mean to tell you what to do, Cleric, but there's a certain rumor that our local goblin chieftain is waiting for you. Goblin? Goblin, short and green, got claws and fangs. Little monsters. They've got three tribes in Norvik, and they're considered somewhat civilized. Monster, defined by bleh. Short for monstrosity, defined as non-sentient creature born out of magical means, often by combining various natural beasts or from curses or esoteric events. Goblin chieftain? Lady Miska Sageleaf is her name. She's down in the Goblin Garden. Of course you've heard of her. Her Lady Sageleaf is quite famous. She leads one of 3 goblin tribes exonerated by Earth after the Conquest. Conquest, the correct way referring to the historical event in which humans founded Norvik. The humans, however, referred to it as the Reconquest. The Reconquest, a historical event in Norvik. It began in Earth's landing in 466 AE, and it is said to have finished by 468 AE, when Earth finished eradicating the trolls who roamed in the ruins of Polinkatl. It is the point of contention if it should be called a reconquest or just a conquest, as no humans have ever lived in the location before. The name is spoken in both reverence and fear. Dragon of Tolstad. They call her the Dragon of Tolstad. She sounds scary. She is. Treat her with respect, Cleric. His eyes say, for your own good. Lady Sageleaf is a powerful ally. I would even go as far as to call her the de facto lawkeeper on this island fortress. A sliver of genuine tone slips out. He has great respect for this dragon. Wait, is this part of the job? Talking with some petty goblin queen? You may find her at the southern tip of Tolstad, the pale man says, and keeps scribbling on his papers in front of you. So, what do you know about spellcasting? Quite a bit. He seems wary on the subject. If he knows more than you, it could be useful to listen. My prayer book is ruined! Yes, I noticed. You should speak with Shen, down on Water Lane View, a bookbinder. It'll cost you, but he could fix it right up. As a cleric, you obviously only need your faith to cast spells, but I'm sure a spellbook won't hurt in the long run. Can you teach me magic? A slight smirk creeps onto his face. I sadly don't have time for the proper lecture at the moment. After the election, I could make the time if you're interested. Great knowledge awaits. Beware, his tutelage holds great evil. Until then, you are free to browse my collection, he says, glancing at the many books along the western wall. And of course, charm person, here. A first level enchantment spell. If the target fails a wisdom check, you'll be their favorite person for a little while. Of course, after that, they will surely hate you, but who cares about that? A copy of Charm Person. It will surely be useful to you. A truly diabolical spell. The towers teach it only to higher tier spellcasters usually, despite its first level. That's a great shortcut to charming people, although you gotta be careful with the fallout. If you care about such things. Can you explain the very basics of spellcasting? Oh, I mean, of course. Embarrassing. He wonders if your head is still filled with water. As a wizard, you memorize your spells before casting them. As an arcane cleric, you must memorize your spells during prayer at a shrine. There's one downstairs by the apples. Where can I find more shrines? There's the Temple of Earth, of course. It's just up the stairs, past the pillar. There's also one on Water Lane View, I believe, past the trade post. You'll find more hidden around every corner, I can promise you that. How do I get more spells? 2 ways. You could spend time learning them, drafting pages out of the palace archives, or the great library in the towers, since you obviously would have some access to that. However, I don't believe you have time for either of those options, so I'd suggest the other route. What's that? Spell scrolls. Oh yeah, I saw one downstairs. Yes, a piece out of my collection. Oh. You are very much allowed to indulge, Cleric. I'm glad to assist the city in any way. He put them out for you on purpose. Why? Now, Tolstad is filled with all kinds of strange catchers. So you'll probably encounter more than just looking around. More by just looking around. If you get your hands on a scroll, then just memorize it. Cantrips or spells, doesn't matter. I'm sure you're talented enough to memorize them on the spot. I am, strikes a heroic pose. He nods to you and goes back to his writing. That's all I have to ask about spellcasting. Very well. If you want to practice, feel free to cast anything non-lethal on my servant Ost. Wow, that's evil. Sounds like good practice. I don't want to do that. In fact, it sounds quite awful. Fair enough. Just remember that spells are terribly useful when applied properly. You called me Cleric. I did, yes. What gave it away? He stops for a second and glares at you. This facade drops for but a moment. A heavily armored man in earth guard clothers with a prayer book on his hip. Thoughts land on the pages of spells you've meticulously worked on for years. They might have found you in the river, but you're clearly of city stock. It could be happenstance. Could it? Happenstance? Perchance? He puts down his pen and stares at you. How's that head of yours, Cleric? I'm fine, I'm fine. His calm expression does not change. Like a glass doll, the pale man is real, is not real. Beware. Why do I have to be anything? The pale man shrugs. I suppose labels are constricting, but we are all something, aren't we? I'm not a cleric, no way. Interesting. What are you then? I'm a hero. The pale man stares at you in silence for a few seconds. Ah, of course. Here to save the day. Fuck yes. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. That's all the help I needed, thanks. Great, anything else you wanted to ask? There's a zombie in your basement? Oh, how quaint. No, Sure, why is it there? We're closely connected with the city below. The undead seemingly wander as they please. The city below, short for the city below the city. A phrase used to describe the incredible amount of tunnels and ruins below Norvik. Lots of monsters and stuff down there. Also riches if you delve deep enough. City below the city? The city below the city. The vast ruins found underneath Norvik. Most define it as parts of the city not yet civilized, although there's a legal definition set in place for each individual district. However, I will have to take this up with Lady Sageleaf. I pay good crowns for HWBT protection. HWBT, the Halfway Bridge Tribe, commonly called the Halfways. One of the 3 goblin tribes in Norvik, and arguably the most influential, despite their small size. Led by Lady Miska Sageleaf, with their headquarters on Goblin Garden, in the Goblin Garden on Tolstead. Halfways. Halfways, short for HWBT, the Halfway Bridge Tribe. He's lying through his fancy teeth. Wait, no, I actually don't believe you. What do you mean, Cleric? The zombie is clearly working for you. That's illegal. I greatly apologize for putting you in this situation. It is my neglect that led to this undead creature entering the tower. I'll make sure to tighten up security in the future. This isn't... Ost, we'll do a clean sweep of the basement this evening. Get ready. Ost, Chief of Security. The kobold gives a screeched yell.
Yes, master.
I will also make sure to report this to both the HWBT and the militia. You're clearly doing something shady here, so... Of course, I'll be sure to ask for a thorough inspection by PCG. PCG, Pest Control Guild. I want to be a kobold protecting its master. You can definitely make that a character concept. It's a simple life. Daft, is that... Can you be my kobold protecting my chat from bots and people that would say terrible things? Can I get a yes, master? Yes, yes! Attack dog archetype, but it's a kobold. That is a good archetype. Frothing at the mouth, just like,
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. My master says I must protect. I will. I will.
Pest Control Guild, one of the oldest guilds in Norvik. They're supposed to keep monsters at bay and clean any unwanted critters across the city. These days, they are so bogged down in requests from citizens in the city that they usually have backlogs for months. I'm a rabid dog. Characters can be attacking guard dogs as a treat for me. Ooh, that is true. The pale man is twisting the entire situation. Smart. If there's anything unbecoming about my business here, it shall be uncovered and unveiled.
Holy shit, he keeps going.
Thank you very much for your service, Cleric. It is because of great men like you that this city still stands. This guy This guy sucks, and I love it. Sleazy. Beat that guy up now. I think we have a 10% chance of being able to do that. So I think I'm gonna try and go with the charisma. His face is so punchable. It's extremely punchable. This guy sucks. I'm sure a good word to your patriarch will assure a promotion of some kind as well, especially with this great work you're doing on the tea shop. Let's try and beat him in the marketplace of ideas. I'm gonna try. We have a 25% chance of succeeding this. Yo! We did it! Focus on the main point. Illegal zombie. Go! Stop. I know what you're doing. The pale man opens his mouth to respond. The zombie did work on your property. He closes his mouth and looks at you. We beat him in the marketplace of ideas! Yes, yes! I love it! I love it! I was picking up apples, or something. That's a violation of the, success. The bone purge. Yes, I'm aware. Beat him in the marketplace of apples. The pale man takes a deep breath. He reaches below into his desk and brings forth a pouch. An isolated incident. It will not be repeated. He hands it to you. Get bribed. This feels like a bribe. This is a bribe, isn't it? Hell yeah, brother. I mean, I kind of need the money, so... Of course not, Cleric. As a city cleric, you obviously have the ability to accept Dagsboter on behalf of Norwick. Dagsboter, Dwarven for day fine. Some might call it legal extortion, but it really depends on the district. Violation of the Bone Purge Code Article 4. In singular violation cases, a Dagsboter of minor class is issued. Legal bribe. In relation to my status as a Tolstad business owner, that'd be precisely 25 crowns. How does he know that? Hit my ass with the Dagsboter every time. I love getting legally bribed. I love getting legally bribed. Yes. Well, let's also fail this wisdom check for sure, because there's no shot. This guy is a necromancer, without a doubt. Well, that's not gonna do it. You glare at the pale man, who keeps working on his documents for approximately 2 minutes. Eventually, you feel stuck in your thoughts. I don't mean to imply I know more than an honorable Earthguard member, my good cleric. However, you must certainly have more important things to do on a day like this. He's correct. Maybe you can get back to this later. Some dice checks are locked on failure and can be attempted again later. These checks are unlocked by a long or short rest or by spending shards of Jor. But with a roll on a very high DC, should probably be lowered before attempting again. Alright, I'm gonna be going now. Before you do, make sure to collect all of your belongings. He gives a quick inspection with his dead eyes. Too quick, like he's trying not to show his interest. Weird. What belongings? Quite a lot. Your uniform, your cloak, and also a voting card? A peculiar voting card. Every party had been marked on it. I'm assuming it's yours? Yeah, sorry, I'm indecisive. This reminds me of the year of Kvatch knowing immediately that the fine for a reoccurring instance of necrophilia is 500 gold. What the fuck? Ew. The pale man ignores your comment. I've asked Ost to lay out the surviving pages of your spellbook to dry over there. he says and points across the chamber. They hit different. Ugh. He then looks at the pocket watch on his desk. That is an esoteric pocket watch. You may have it, Cleric. It will surely prove useful to you. Esoteric pocket. An area overtaken by esoteric magic. Exceedingly rare along the coast. The further inland you get, the more common they are, with the infinite waste being theorized to be filled with nothing but. Beyond that, you should be good. Did I have any weapons on me? None, I'm afraid. They must be at the bottom of River Torna. I'm talking about vampires. Oh, you don't want to fuck bodies. You want to fuck vampires. I mean, let's be real. Who doesn't? You know. Who isn't against a little bit of neck biting? Got it. Pale man turns his face towards you and smiles. Unnatural. If only every government employee was as devoted as you, Cleric. He gives you a stern expression. Good luck on your quest. Leave. Now. When exploring the city, you may move faster by running. Do so by double-click or hold shift / the left trigger. Well... Pocket watch. Yours? It's mine now. Yoink. It's an accessory. +1 intelligence and advantage in esoteric events. I mean, it's still a +4, so could be worse. My prayer book is turbo ruined though, and you lose -3 intelligence just for having it equipped. That's how bad it is. Alright, obviously you gotta have your first NPC that comes back to being important later, especially with the DC 31 check. Like, yeah. Your book sucks ass. Is this okay? Behold, an unlocked chest full of strange rocks. What if I trifle with it? Human cause no trouble. You mind if I take these? No problem at all. I bet everything is his fault. I'm gonna bet it's at least tangentially related. Also, it's getting hot. Everybody prep your balls. My poor ears. They're getting squished. Behold. Ost, Chief of Security. Let's behold him. $37. He's a level 9 rogue. Kobold. This one is quite hostile. Stay on your feet. His expressionless eyes seem to keep watch at all times. He's obviously determining where to strike for you to die as quickly as possible. How humane. Oh good, I love that. Surely he won't kick the shit out of me. Wiggling his little clawed feet, the kobold follows your every move with cold, unflinching yellow eyes.
Master say you behave.
Me when I want to kill and bite? Yes, this guy definitely wants to kill and bite. I have some questions for you.
Short question. Go.
Who are you?
I am Ost. I'm security chief in Lich House.
The kobold appears proud. There is no humility in his voice. In its voice. You are a kobold.
Not the question. Next. Oh, oh fuck. That's not even, it's not a question. Quick, save it.
Hang on, what was my voice?
Ah, fuck.
Try to save the question.
Yes. Change course, quick.
Are you a kobold? Do kobolds exist? Am I a kobold? Kobolds, what are they good for? What are you voting in the upcoming election? Do kobolds exist? Do you want me to do kobolds exist? I kind of want to ask what are you voting for? But yeah, do kobolds exist?
Yes.
Are you a kobold?
Yes.
Better than nothing, I suppose. Hang on, I need to...
Better than nothing, I suppose.
Okay, sweet. All right. Am I a kobold?
No.
Kobolds, what are they good for?
Many things. Shooting human, for one.
Follow your heart. What are you voting in the upcoming election?
Angry Human Party.
The Party of Norvik? Really?
Yes, they do good. Strong men lead. Bright tomorrow.
Oh damn, this guy's a fascist? Shocking, perhaps, although it takes a special kind of creature to vote in some kind of pragmatic selflessness. You're a good boy.
Thanks.
He mutters, his words oozing with disdain. That's my single question. Can I ask something else?
Okay.
How do you get this gig?
Not gig.
What is it then?
I'm devoted servant for master.
You're angering the kobold. Got it. He gives you an expression that could be described as a frown. That is, if it looked in any way different from his regular stony expression. You wouldn't actually shoot me, would you?
No promise.
Do you have a license for that crossbow?
My crossbow, not yours.
Yelgin's Accord, a signed agreement between districts in Norvik allowing free use of arms and a magic below a reasonable amount. Would allow a freelance mercenary the access to a crossbow, for example. What is Yelgin's Accord? A series of laws established during the early days of Norvikian settlement. What does a reasonable amount mean? That question is why Yelgin's Accord is a complete disaster. Damn, politics. Crossbow is yours. I apologize.
Do better. Mine.
Can I borrow your crossbow?
Human is kidding. Human is kidding? Not funny.
You would make a greater use of it than this puny creature. Just take it. For whatever reason, he must have been ordered not to hurt you. Don't push it. The kobold snorts.
Go away.
Don't let this slide. Just take the crossbow. That wasn't a question. It was a demand. Please?
No.
Try to convince the kobold. The kobold stares at you. Come on, let me have it.
Now.
The kobold imitates your tone and then stares at you some more. Sure, let's try the charisma check. Let's fail this. Yup. This is difficult. The kobold already hates your guts. Don't make it worse. Give me the fucking crossbow. If you don't hand it over, I'll tell Viskin you called him stupid. Yeah, let's do that. Rude ass.
Master don't believe you.
You can see a hint of fear in his eyes as he glances back and forth between you and his master.
Go away.
Great restraint. Impressive. His reptilian expression reveals little, but his tone says, I'd kill you if I could. Well, that was a failure. Better find some other way of getting the crossbow. Where were you when the tea shop incident occurred?
Incident? Tea shop blow up. Boom.
Big boom?
Big boom. When it happened, I was on water lane, on mission.
A mission?
Not mission. I meant to say errand.
What were you doing on water lane?
Milk.
Doing milk?
Deliver.
You deliver milk.
Yes, big side hustle.
This kobold just keeps getting better and better. Kobolds don't even drink milk. You want to know more? I want to know a lot less. Ask questions about milk. The kobold stares at you. This milk situation is intense. Where does the milk come from?
Cows.
And where do you get the cow milk?
Market.
Who buys the milk?
Humans. Waterlane humans. They pay many for fresh milk before dawn.
The expressionless, cold-blooded kobold is hard to read, but his body language does not exactly scream honesty. Side hustles are always smart. You could do a milk run later.
It pays.
Do kobolds produce milk?
No.
They're draconic in nature. They lay eggs. Do you like milk?
No.
I also don't like milk. Yeah, I'm a liar, or something. You smirk, a confident laugh escaping your lips. You then turn toward the ceiling, smiling. I also don't like milk. Your comment has made a dent upon the world. This is why they should all follow you. You are a worthy leader. The kobold stares at you with awe in his yellow, expressionless eyes. No one cares. Can I have some milk?
No.
Valiant effort. I don't have anything else to ask about milk.
Okay.
Thank you. You should totally find out more about this. Could be a big moneymaker. Thank you for your time, kobold. Alright, we have the questing tree. What did we just find out about? Are we milk curious? Where's our milk curious? Milk curiosity. Phoenix Folio. After your rivet adventure, spellbook is ruined. Find a service provider who can do it for you. Class conflict. Democratization. The city is changing, as are you. You've always been volatile in your political views, but it's time to choose for real. You've unlocked the ability to ask people what they're voting for. A deep urge inside you is calling. You need to ask. You must ask. Over and over. At least 20 times. Okay, 10. Milk curious. Crown collection, coin capture, cash sidnapping. There are many ways to describe it. Get rich or die trying. The only way to do it is obviously get this milk delivery gig. Try checking around Waterlane in the morning. And then, okay. Dragon of Tolstad. You're here on request of Lady Sageleaf. Goblin chieftain in Tolstad. Go see her right away. Okay, well. Smell of salt. Voice upstairs. I missed the last part. It says Viskin's Lich House, but then the dentistry is scratched out. Yeah, I wouldn't trust a dentist that has his fingers inside of corpses. Something inside this old vase. What's in it? Oh, more incense. Yay! Obviously, we gotta zoom out. Where are we? The orc observes you with great interest. Well, let's go talk to the dwarves first, I think. Warmer ale barrel. I mean, you know me, I'm always trifling. Simi and the boys. Dwarf exile. Level 2 factory worker. Devoted Asgal, gives everything he has to support the cause. Second son kind of person, lives in the shadows of great men. Follows the Asgal way not due to his choice, but due to indoctrination and tradition. He wants to live up to someone. His father? A patriarch? Well, we've properly assessed him. Now let's go talk to him. The older dwarf puffs out his chest as you approach. Stout, short, hairy, loves to dig and build. You know the drill. Heh, drill. They build most of Norvik and have a long history with the Earth folk. Fancy helmet, city man. He speaks in short and quiet manner, as if he's scared of his words actually being heard. The dwarf behind him laughs. Don't engage, just leave. You making fun of me, dwarf? Maybe I am. What are you gonna do about it, huh? He's acting tough. Be easy on him. Stare at the dwarf. He looks around. Stare at the dwarf harder. Dwarf glances at his boss. You here for talking then? Stare at him and slowly leaning your head to the side. I'm bullying this poor dwarf. You should, He stutters and points toward the stout dwarf on the stage. Talk to him. Nod and leave. Okay. Rude ass. Hey, he was rude to me first! Alphals BE. He stands by his ideals with gut and little else. Push will earn his respect, that is his way. Knows he's privileged, and he hates it. His ideal clashes with his blood. Okay. Good info. Let's engage with the man. Around the amphitheater scene, you see a number of dwarves hard at work. They're constructing a banner of some kind, carrying a bright green flag. The banner of Asgard, the fool. One of the dwarves stands to face you with a furrowed brow. He appears to be in a staring contest with the orc on the other side of the theater.
Oi, Mr. City Man, he calls out as you approach. We've made it clear already, we're not moving, not one bit.
He shoots you a shit-eating grin. This dwarf gets extreme pleasure from telling you to fuck off like this. What's going on here?
Just working. The boys will be done soon enough.
You hear the other dwarves laughing behind him.
Nothing illegal going on here. Nothing at all.
He's only saying that because he's had to defend himself quite a lot lately. Nothing illegal, huh?
We have the papers. Nothing illegal at all.
A half-truth. I need to give wisdom a better voice. I'm not giving it a better differentiation. One of the dwarves spits on the ground next to him.
Even know who you're talking to, child? This here's Alphaz, the Bon of the Bon Embers, a foreman in the Asgalist movement of Norvik.
Foreman, one of the leading members of the Norvik Asgal Council. Norvik Asgal Council, sometimes called the NAC. This is a group of foremen, or four folk, guiding the Asgal movement in Norvik. They lead workers' union movements, Asgal rallies, and the entire Asgalist Workers' Party.
He's done more good than all of you Earthguard combined, a true speaker for Asgard.
Damn, that's a lot of good.
Simi exaggerates.
He gives the older dwarf the stink eye.
I'm also not in any way proud of my heritage. Nobility is a poisonous hierarchy.
Typical talking points. He grins.
Just wanted to make that clear.
Don't mention the whole noble thing. It'll just piss him off, unless you want that. You boys setting up a play or something?
A play?
He spits on the ground.
We're holding a rally for the cause. This evening, workers across Tolstad will gather to hear the word of Osgall.
He turns towards the orc.
And no one's going to stop it.
Mm-hmm. You hear laughing coming from across the street. Papers, Alphaz. He grumbles and turns back to you. So, what do you want? You seem a bit stressed.
No, you don't say? So it is forenoon. I get the lads together. When we arrive, that accursed woman is standing here.
The dwarf shudders.
She starts complaining.
He reaches for something in his pocket and takes out some documents.
We show her the papers. And the papers are no good, she says. Bah.
Circle square conflict added.
Real convenient, I say. Now there is nothing wrong with these papers. We're in our rights to speak out against tyrants and burghers. Burghers, Bogare, the craftsmen, merchants, and notably higher standing citizens in comparison to those of rural roots. They are. Check the papers. Surely the dwarves have screwed up somewhere. So she's wrong about the documents?
Of course she is. She's a liar, that one. A filthy liar.
Alphonse nods and grunts. Terrible liar. Can't even get the words out. Rude ass. Yeah, just a little bit. He knows she's right about the documents, but doesn't want to admit it. Isn't it a bit macabre to hold the rally on top of a morgue? 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 Dwarf grumbles to himself and glances over to the Lich House stairs. I thought it was a dentist. Fair assessment. No matter. The Asgol movement is not afraid of death. You hear a laugh from the orc behind you. Big words, Alphaz. The dwarf grits his teeth. Damn orc. So what's this rally about exactly? He grunts. Guilds. For decades, there's been collective bargaining between Norvikian workers and the city guilds. Say what you want about Earth, but he kept a tight leash on the upper class of this city. Damn right he did. Yeah, but look, it ain't the same since his death. The Free Striders have burrowed into every darn power structure, from paper boys to bookbinders. Less than a dozen years, salaries have stagnated and prices have gone up. They say Free Striderism would make this city rich. I say it makes its people poor. We need change. So you're here to convince a bunch of Tolstad workers to vote for the Asgalist party? More or less, yeah. But it's also about the spirit of community. Together we can fight against the purchases of our labor. Alone we are as brittle as a twig in the older dwarf pipes up. A twig in the wind? No, that's not good enough. Like a twig in the fireplace? He points at you. That's good, I like that. Anyway, the rally will be a success. We just need to get rid of that orc. So we can call out to all workers of this magnificent city, he exclaims, as if there were a crowd around him. Vote with your guts, with your manhood at stake. You too, city men. Can I see the papers? He gives his companions a glance. Why? Construct an argument as to why you should get the papers. Yeah, why not? You know, I get the feeling that this guy does not have the proper documentation. We'll take the success. Just tell him you're an expert and that you're on... Hang on. Documents are for nerds. That's true. I've never read once in my life, and especially not for the last 2.5 hours. Just tell me you're an expert and that you're on their side. I'm an expert. Are you now? Yes. Also, I'm on your side. He repeats louder. Are you now? I hit him with, I'm your best shot at getting out of this. The dwarf grumbles. His eyes go from you to the orc behind you. Fine. Dwarf sighs and grabs something in his pocket. I have never read and I sign every EULA without glancing at it once. Yeah, you know, I just scroll to the bottom as soon as possible. Just... and click yes, I accept. Who cares if it sells out my firstborn child? I'm not having kids. Truly, now that's a fey... a truly fey bargain, or fairy bargain would be, yeah, I'm not going to have kids, and then somehow I have kids. The only EULA I know is from Genshin Impact. What is the Genshin Impact EULA? I'm so curious. He hands over the scroll. I trust you with these documents, city man. Oh boy. If you hand those over to the orc, this could all be over right now. Tell us we're in the wrong, I dare you.
Because we're not.
The older dwarf joins in. Take it back. Take a step back and check it out. Let's see what's actually going on here. Okay, I'll take a look. Oh, it's... Now EA owns my soul in perpetuity. That's the name of a character? Eula is the name of a character in fucking Genshin Impact? What the hell is that game? I've never seen anything about it except for like Gooner bait. Okay, let's take a look at these documents. Formal permission of public gathering. It contains a lot of legal nonsense, making it difficult to parse. Well, let's examine it. It's quite light, some kind of magazine paper. Unrolling it reveals a short statement about a political rally at the Circle Square. March 7th? Oh yeah, that's the only other one I know. I don't know either, I just know her name is funny. And yes, March 7th is a funny name too. It is, it's a very silly name. Magazine. A periodical publication generally containing short stories, adverts, investigative journalism, and or erotica. Permission of public gathering accepted, it says in big letters at the top, followed by a signature. Tolstad Magistrate, Nicholas Darrow. Darrow, one of the original Earthfolk houses to found Norvik with Earth. Their bloodline can still be found in high positions all around the city. The actual text uses an archaic and typically bureaucratic writing style. Have I seen this kind of document before? Yes, often. In your scribing duty, you've signed these a number of times. Cool document. It is not. I don't like it. Oh, how come? Because it's a legal document? Duh. Too many words. Fascinating. Well, let's examine it in detail. Scan the text again, checking for spelling, phrasing, and terminology. It is perfect. Not a single error, except the date. It says the rally is supposed to be held on the 16th. The document is perfectly legal, but it's expired. Look at the dates. Yeah, it's expired. Stop looking. He's gonna be mad about that. About this Asgul. What about him? Asgul, Ashmask, is a very controversial figure in Dwarven myth, as well as in history. Who is he? Who is... He's taken aback by your question. He's Asgul. Asgul the Great, the Kind, our liberator. Born at the beginning of the Divine Era, he is a disputed demigod and warlord of the revolutionary Dwarven Legions era. Modern scholars divide history into Jor into 5 eras. They use canonically important events as starting points for these eras, although this was easier when the arcanists of Old Dimenor still had a common consensus. Not everyone agrees the so-called post-war era has even begun, let alone what it should be called. Is the post-war era? The current era has lasted 27 years. The name was chosen in reeds. The name is subject to change. Ah, so he's a big deal. Big deal? Shakes his head. He was a man, a dwarf with conviction to break the tyranny of kings. We're here as keepers of his legacy. I've got to ask though, is this a religion? Most certainly not. He scoffs in your general direction. Is it a cult? I don't know what you've been talking to, Mr. Cityman, but let me assure you, Asgul was no god or demigod, or anything related to it. He was a simple man with a dream of a fair and just society. Nothing more. Ouch. Sore spot. He is infuriated, but not because of you, but because he has defended this position many times. I like him. He seems cool. He's Asgul the Great, the Kind, our liberator. You like him too, then?
Yeah, a fair bit.
Never mind. Let's, I want to explore this dialogue again. He seems cool. I apologize. He is cool.
Yeah, very.
About the rally. What about it? I checked the papers. Takes a deep breath. Okay, what did you find out, city man? Yeah, these papers expired like last week. He takes the papers and shakes his head. With a groan, he mutters, I know, but the date is just a mistake, you see? I personally had this signed by the magistrate 2 days ago, after this supposed expiry date. They must have done that on purpose.
Exactly, that's what I've been saying, Alphaz.
I hate the government so much.
Yeah, fuck those burger fucks.
Bah! The dwarf shouts onto the amphitheater. Doesn't matter, whether Darrow fucked us or not, we're here and they can't make us leave. He gives you a menacing glare, and I hope for your sake you're not the sorry lad she's hired to do the deed. I'm just here to observe. Fuck those burger fucks. Yeah, like that one guy that fucked the McChicken, right? He spits on the ground. Ban's cap. Ban's cap, a dwarven word meaning something along the words of devilry, commonly curse word. Devil, lawful evil fiend. They are lawyers, soul traders, and either the most efficient type of leaders or the worst type of middle managers. Their numbers are dwindling as of late, but in Blood City Bay, they still rule supreme. We know about too many guys that have put their penis into too many things. Yeah, like the guy that also put his penis inside of the M&M tube, right? Right? God, you're so right. There's too many... Why do people keep putting their dick in everything? I guess to some, any hole is a goal. You know why? Yeah. People are desperate. Blood City Bay. Sorry, I'm going into like New Zealand accent. I don't know why that's staying on the tongue. Blood City Bay, the most populated city on the coast. Built upon the corpse of Gorgian the Great and Terrible. A sprawling mess of wooden walkways and buildings carved out of the calcified remains. Once famous for its fleet of airships deployed during the Coast War, known as the origin of the Industrial Revolution, and while New Thazen has overtaken it as the leader in manufacturing, it still stands out as one of the most industrious city-states. Same reason ERs are full of people who put stuff up their butts. Also true, there's any excuse to be like, what if? But what if this thing that definitely shouldn't go in my ass goes in my ass? What is the Coast War? Coast War, a great war. A conflict between the Arcanists of Reeds, as well as every other nation connected with them across the coast. A horrible waste of human lives, which claimed millions of lives. There was no honor in this fighting, that you know. They're searching for the prostate. It's a noble goal. The quest for the prostate. Coast War. A near century-spanning conflict between every nation of the Arcane Era. Scholars estimate it claimed more than half the entire human population. It is said to have begun in 398 AE by the inciting spark of the assassination of the priestess of Ilona. It is generally agreed to have concluding with the fall of Thazen in 481 AE, 57 years ago. It's fine, just make sure you use something with a goddamn flared baste. True. Arcane Era. The fourth out of 5 eras, when the Arcanists rose and dominated the entire coast, only to fall when the Coast War crumbled their empires to dust. A noble... You know what? Let's take a quick save. A nobleman, huh?
Ah, in the old country, yeah. It doesn't matter here. I'm just a foreman of the Tolsted district. Doesn't matter. If he's a noble, he must be rich.
How much money do you have on you? Didn't your mommy and daddy ever teach you it's rude to ask about someone's mint? Tell me more about yourself. Huh? Why?
Good question. Leave this dumb dwarf alone.
Why are you asking about me? I'm interested in you and your backstory.
And why should I tell you anything?
Who doesn't want to talk about themselves? He raises a hand. Fair enough, just move on. Alright, have fun. New save. I guess I'll go talk to the orc lady. Behold her. Strength. Oh good. I'm so good at that. I got nothing. Agent Vera. I didn't even get the DC 5. Well, what's up, lady? On the strength of the ruinous amphitheater, you see an orc sitting on one of the many loosened stoned blocks. It looks like she's waiting for something, or someone. She hides it well, but the orc is stressed. Perhaps it has to do with the dwarves. Exuding an air of authority around her, the large woman gives you a wry smile. Her tusks are gleaming. Not just physically imposing, this orc knows how to exert power in other ways as well. You spot the merchant's mark on her sleeve jacket, a heart with the initials of the Norvikian Freestrider Regiment. What's this? Not often we get Earthguard around here. You sure they walk around like the damn... You sure walk around like a damn advertisement with this drab uniform. She presents her palm to you. Vera is my name. I'm second in command, Guild Agent of Tolstad. Nice to meet you.
Be nice to her. She's a free strider.
I know nothing about her, but I like her already. It's definitely gonna be... She's definitely a character you like, based off of what we've seen already. Make sure she knows you're a cleric. The showing of the palm is a casual cultural greeting in the reeds. Do not grab her hand. That's not what it is. I love that she's doing the BioWare wall lean. Yeah, you know, thinking on that, why is it that every character in BioWare games, like, the only thing about, I'm gonna say a sizable chunk of them is that they are sarcastic. Why is sarcasm the only way that they know how to write people? Like, it's a good way to add depth to a character in certain moments, but you can't just have, like, defining character traits be sarcasm. You know why? Bad writing? Yeah. Names and labels aren't important. Debatable, but I do like a secretive man. It's Joss Whedon's fault, I think. Fuck! It all comes back down to motherfucking Joss Whedon. I hate that guy. She shoots you another smile, waiting patiently for you to say anything. I'm here on important business. Business, you say? She leans in and squints at you. Fascinating. Perhaps I can be of service, Earthguard? For your business? Where's the Goblin Chieftain? Lady Sageleaf? Just head down these stairs. Good luck getting an audience, though. By moving your head to the side and using your eyes to look south, you see a garden of some sort. You can see a goblin or two in the ramparts. Is she busy? I sure hope so. It took us months to get in a room with her to discuss some renovation in the Holes. The Holes, a common slang for the central spire of apartments in Tolstad. The lower ones are less fancy. If she's not busy, she's a bitch. Dragon of Tolstad my ass. She catches herself from releasing any more profane comments. Anything else? She looks annoyed now. Tell me what you know about the tea shop. The tea shop that blew up, she says dramatically. Sounds like a magazine tale. I heard it was an accident. The Post mentioned it in passing. Minor mishap, I believe, was the official quote. Although, from what people tell me, it was quite the explosion. Quite. So you weren't in the area? No, I was on the North Wall, company business. North Wall, one of the 5 districts in Norvik, known as the Industrial District for its many factories built along the river. This is where you live. The sign of an outsider. She calls it the North Wall instead of just North Wall. Relax, she'll learn in time. You sure like her, don't you? What's not to like? She looks inland. Inland, a term for travel towards the endless sea, away from the coast. I did see the smoke. It was a clear day. What do you think was the cause, Earthguard? No comment. She raises an eyebrow. Hold on, are you here to investigate the tea shop? She might be a tea strider, but your business is your own. Get away from this conversation. No. But actually... No. But actually, she says, holding out her hands. No. But actually, she says, holding out her hands. No. No. Sneak away. I'm here. You look lovely today. Thanks. Are you here to investigate the tea shop? Nice weather we're having. Are you here for the tea shop? I'm here to do business. With the tea shop? The one that blew up? A master of speechcraft. You can do nothing. Leave Vera alone. She's the one harassing me. Maybe. Is that a maybe yes? That's it. I'm leaving. Quick! Sneak away before she can do anything about it. You glance to your back, carefully preparing to take the first step away from the conversation. No, don't stop. Come back. Please answer my question before you leave. No, my HP! The orc gives you the kind of look you would give a child after they started eating gravel. Now let me ask again, she says, her tone now slightly more tense. Are you investigating the tea shop? Yes, damn it. Interesting. I'll be honest, I assumed the city would just ignore it. But they sent you. It's sort of a giveaway. Clearly someone thinks this is an esoteric mess if they sent a cleric to look into it. Esoteric. I keep hearing that word. What does it mean exactly? Really? It means... Her eyes wander for a while. Her brow furrows. It's a term to describe whenever something queer happens, whether that the cause would be regular spellcasting or something more esoteric. I'm sure you've noticed something you couldn't explain rationally, then that would be esoteric. I assume you of all people would know what that is, considering he mimics casting a spell with her hands, then points to you. Mimic. Horrifying, shape-shifting monster, capable of copying the looks of any object it discovers, although some size limitations depending on the type. If you touch it, you'll get stuck and probably eaten. Oh good, glad I know what a mimic is. Why would a city avoid sending a representative? Duh, because of the election, of course. Look, Tulstad is a highly volatile district with lots of extremist ties. I believe this tea shop acted as a sort of lightning rod. So when a place like that blows up, why would a faction spend resources investigating it? Especially when those resources could be spent on trying to win the terribly important election. A sound reasoning. Well, some might see it as corruption. I'd classify it more as simple, boring, but ultimately harmless bureaucracy. What exactly have you heard? It blew up. Fireplace incident. Bullish, of course. Most likely a rogue spellcaster. Well, I'm here now. You sure are, and good luck, Cleric. If there's anything the Ascani Reed's trading company can do to help you out, let me know. You can usually find me down in our HQ on Waterlane. She smiles in a way that completely breaks down your defenses. Looking forward to seeing you there. A kind gesture with ill intent. I'm done discussing business. You want to move on to more casual topics then? Politics, perhaps? What's the deal with the dwarves? Oh, them? Complicated as anything. I wouldn't be sitting here wasting my precious day if it wasn't for them. But in short, they're holding an unlawful assembly. They won't let me take a look at the document proving it. Not frustrating at all, she says and winks at you. She telegraphs her sarcasm heavily. This is useful when communicating with slower individuals. Explain it in detail to me from the top. It's all just an inconvenience. Her eyes say, a pain in the ass. These lovely Asgulus have decided by themselves to hold a rally here on this lovely little circle square. Unfortunately, they need a permission of public gathering, or PPEG. PPG. The PPG needs to be approved by the district council. They do not have a proper PPG. You pick up on her use of the word proper. What does that entail? Proper? She scoffs. It is marked for the last week. It has expired. But can you believe her? She's not lying, but there's something there. Ah, she's twisting the truth. In what way? And you're just sitting here because? Simple, really. These dwarves are ignoring my call to disperse. So I'm here as a witness. If they do not leave by sundown, they will be fined and or arrested. Why don't you come back at sundown? I would, if it wasn't for the fact that I need to witness the entirety of the trespassing. Since they were served during the morning, if they do not disperse by sundown, they will be inflicted with an entire day's worth of fines. I'd have an assistant do it, or a secretary, but we're stretched thin, as it is with the election coming up. Now I'll just sit here and smile politely. Arrested by whom? She gives you a smug grin. You, perhaps? The monopoly on violence here on Tolstad is more of an oligopoly. It would be a roll of the die to see who gets employed to handle these rude dwarves. Maybe some goblins? The city of Norvik also allows us to employ mercenaries for extra-legal enforcement, but the company likes to avoid that in most cases. As you can imagine, mercs tend to lack that finer touch. There's something shady about this. Do it yourself. She laughs. I love your high opinion of me, but even I cannot wrangle a dozen dwarves all at once. Or however many there are, hard to keep track of. They seem almost spawn out of the ground. Sounds like trouble. Ha. Trouble would be exciting. This is just dull. If only I could get my hands on those PPG documents. Then I could simply hand them over to the city and go home early. Or rather, head back to the office and complete the orc size. The draft for the marketing meetup. Sorry, I've got a lot on my plate. You're being manipulated. Be careful. If you get her this PPG thing, then that'd be a pretty easy way to clean this mess. She'd totally be in your debt. I spoke with Alphaz. Make a decision. Oh, did you now? Don't get involved with this bullshit unless you really want to pick a side in the Free Strider Asgulist conflict. Both these sides are useless and ignorant. This situation is a bit complicated. I agree, but that does not change the outcome. We need to draw the line somewhere, don't we? Good diplomatic bullshit answer. Love it. Alphaz is entirely in his right to hold this rally. Such a powerful declaration, yet I don't see any proof whatsoever, or any real argument either. It's just a clerical error. The real date is today. I don't care if there's an error or who made it. The papers say one thing, that is the thing we follow. The law is more flexible than that. Yeah, sure. Tell that to the magistrates. She's definitely hiding something, but dare you risk to pry? Figure out why she won't let this go and make her leave. Yeah, you know what? 50-50. No! That's my stat! Attempting to see things from her perspective only makes things muddier. You twist and turn on the situation and you just don't get it. Maybe she's really that focused on justice. Maybe she's just stubborn. You okay, Cleric? You'll have to solve this problem by talking to the dwarves. You have to roll higher than that? Really? A nat 1 won't make me succeed? Really? I thought it would. Just tell her that you're neutral for now. Go talk to Alphaz. Okay, so I have no opinion on this matter. Sorry. Choose not to get involved at all. Don't be. You have no stake in this. I'll just sit here and be bored for a while longer. I'd like to know more about you. Little old me? I'm an open book. Where are you from? She doesn't answer you at first. Instead, she looks away for a moment and smirks. She's thinking of messing with you. You mean because I'm an orc, I can't be Norvikian? She says, looking at you with a stern expression. I can be racist? No! You know what I mean. I do, she says, giving you a warm smile. I'm from Blood Bay City. I ran with the warbands when I was a girl. Took me all around the coast, she explains. Far from the cursed plains of Fel Tire. Fel Tire, one of the 8 bands of the coast. A land half ruined from millennia of warfare. Its red lowlands stands for a quarter of all of the all food production. Stands for a quarter of the all food production on the coast. I think that's a mixed up word. All flowing from the trade ports in the Blood Bay City. The name Fel Tire originates in Orcish as High Place or Bad Fort, Infernal, or Hill Land in Goblin. It is hotly debated. Fel Tire. It is a land of elven ruins with magically fertile lowlands in between. In its center sits Blood Bay City, the largest city on the coast, built out of the corpse, or rather just the head, of Gorgorian. Gorgorian, the devil's second in line to rule the deepest layer of hell. Legends say he was presented with a deal: conquer one measly pocket dimension, and in exchange he would be granted the throne. A millennia of fighting orcs, elves, several walking gods later, his corpse is now used as a foundation for Blood Bay City. And Gorgorian is of course the archdevil come to conquer Jor during the Gate era. In fact, his death at the hands of the Orcish Queen Mother Demigoddess marks the end of the Gate era itself. The Gate era, period lasting approximately 3,000 years. The first era, named after the many gates opened by Jor to connect his realm to all others, ended around 2,000 years ago, if you trust modern scholars. But you should already know this, of course. We were hired during the Third Revolutionary War in Reeds. When it was over, I stayed behind. As she speaks, you see her eyes glimmer. All those memories coming back to her. She's seen a lot. Those were the days. What's it like being an orc in Norvik? My kind is quite rare, so, she mumbles, her gaze trailing off toward the horizon. Some sadness, loneliness. You feel terrible for her. The occasional comment does sting a bit. I've gotten used to it. How nice of you to ask. I know what it's like to be discriminated against. You do? I'll be damned if you don't mind me asking how exactly. Humans are going extinct. Members of the Holy River Order are a minority in this city. Technically true. Best kind of true. She laughs and sighs. Earthguard, you truly are an enigma.
I'm a minority. I'm a part of a I'm a part of a religion that no one else is in.
You're a strong and physically imposing woman. Attempt to flirt. Well, obviously we gotta. She covers her mouth and tusks with a hand. She's trying not to laugh. You've got one shot. She's bedazzled by her confidence. Don't fuck this up. Failure. Tell her she's got nice tusks. Do not attempt to flirt her. Leave her alone. Get a job. I have a job. I'm a cleric. However, obviously we gotta flirt. Bet you could carry me around like a straw doll. You bet your sweet ass. Few men get that privilege. She's desperately trying not to laugh. Sweat, tremors, be wary. This could end very badly. Yeah, let's try to save this. Oh, no. Your mind is blank, literally. There's nothing that comes to mind apart from the base desires that aspect of your psyche we don't talk about. I fear women. Yep. I suppose it's time to let it rip. Just go wild. I don't care. There's nothing that can be done anyways. Lost cause. Bottoms up. Three. Three. You know, get down on your knees. Please. Slowly you sink down to the ground, begging. You push your iron face against the stone walkway. You mean it with your entire body. You are pleading. Just a crumb of pussy, please God. You are pathetic. This does not feel good. I only lost 1 HP, I'm fine. Viria looks at you with mouth agape, clearly unsure how to handle it. You've left me speechless. She claps her hands together. Well done. Not often that happens. Now that we're done with that, do you have anything else to ask at all? I did it. I'm pathetic. I'm pathetic. Yippee! I'm pathetic! Yeah. So you're working for the Free Striders? I don't work for the revolution. It's just a revolution. It's okay. Women love wet, pathetic men. We're certainly wet and pathetic. That's for certain. You fool. You knew that. Maybe? I work for the Ascani Reeds Trading Company. Ascani Reeds Trading Company, one of the many branches of expansionist organizations along the coast. They promote... You think I'm joking? I am not. This woman is not into wet, pathetic men, though. We promote the Free Strider ideals in Ascan. Currently, we focus on making sure this election process goes smoothly, along with other economic concerns. I enjoy working for them very much. Perhaps not so much on slow days like this, but alas. Okay, not all of them. Yeah, she seems like the kind of person that, she has to fight. Well, this is obviously conjecture. She seems like the kind of person that can win in a physical altercation with you, but has to exert effort. I think she does not want a limp noodle. I like the election, but you're going to lose. And any decent Free Strider would be happy with that outcome, but it's about the process, not the outcome. Not to pry, but if not Free Strider, what are you voting in the election? It's only a few days away. Maybe she just wants a cute little pathetic dog. Yeah, I think an actual dog would serve her better than us. Asgalism shall sweep the coast. Earthguard and Asgalist? What a combination. I'll be honest, this is one of the reasons I took this job, speaking with individuals such as yourself, hearing what they have to say. So thank you for that. She's being genuine. I'm done asking questions about you. Oh, silly me, talking about myself all the time. What about you? I'm a literal walking corpse. Necromancy isn't unheard of, but... Who am I to judge? Be undead if you want to. Nod your head and leave. Alright. Hang on a second. Actually, what's the one that we got here? I saw one that was interesting. Class conflict. Phylogynistic agenda. Women, they're everywhere. Your worth as a man is based only on the admiration you get from them. Your goal, get a date. A real date. Good luck. I don't think that's gonna happen. Please, I'm so wet and pathetic. Can I please just get a date with you? Gross. Look, you can flirt with so many people. It's a true D&D campaign. I fully expect that. All right, this was a lot of fun. I can only handle talking for so long. Talking and reading is not easy. So we're gonna call it on the stream today. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I hope you had fun, and I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see where the game goes. Time anyway. Yeah. Wait, you can be... We're gonna flirt with everybody. We are bisexual. In this house, we are bisexual. Oh, I see Stu is streaming again. Let's go raid into them. They're doing raid in RuneScape. So let's hop in, say hi, and hopefully we have a good time. Thanks again, everybody, for stopping by. I love you all. Mwah. Goodbye.